here. Hi. Hi, thank you. Why are you here? Oh, I just see exchange. Great delay. You should sing. Too late. You didn't sing the circle singing. Thanks for being here. Check, check. Check, check.
Hey y'all, can you hear me? If you can hear my voice, clap once. If you can hear my voice, clap twice. So I'm asking everyone in this center section here right behind me, you gotta scooch in because we got a full sanctuary this morning. If you're not in a choir, just make space for other people who are still coming in to the room. And you can do that on that side as well. So just be mindful that there are others coming in. We don't want folks wandering around the building looking for a place to sit down. All right. Continue, Kate.
Good morning. My name is Francisco Ruiz, pronounce he, him. Would you please rise in body or in spirit and join me in singing Heart Wide Open by Leah Morris. You gotta keep your heart wide open, though the waves wanna push you around. You gotta keep your heart wide open till your faith brings you back to solid ground. Now sing with me. You gotta keep your heart wide open, though the waves wanna push you around. Gotta keep your heart. You gotta keep your heart wide open till your faith brings you back to solid ground. One more time, sing it loud. You gotta keep your heart. Gotta keep your heart wide open. Wanna push you through. You gotta push you around. You gotta keep your heart wide open till your faith brings you back to solid ground. Till your faith brings you back. Till your faith brings you back to solid ground. One more time. Till your faith brings you back to solid ground. You may be seated.
Wow, it's so great to see all of you this morning. So we bid you welcome into this space on this morning that is a celebration of our interconnection and interdependence through song and music. Because in the words of William Cleary, a former Jesuit priest, space, the concept of a great emptiness, does not really exist at all.
For the emptiness we imagine out there is not empty. It is filled with energy, vibration, design, music, in effect, on both cosmic and microcosmic scales. In an old song, we sing, "The hills are alive with the sound of music." That is more than poetic imagining. It is literally true. The world and space are all filled in with vibration, rhythm, and waves. Energy is a given reality, apparently with unlimited resourcefulness, says Diarmuid O'Murchu. And in the unfolding of evolution's great story, it exudes as a subtle vibrational force, giving shape and direction to all being and becoming. We are surrounded by many kinds of musical energy. The least we can do is hum along.
And so we bid you welcome into this space and time with its many kinds of musical energy and also the vibration that is you. because the whole universe is humming. Actually, the whole universe is Mongolian throat singing. Every star, every planet, every continent, every building, every person is vibrating along to the slow cosmic beat. That's the takeaway from a group of scientists known as the Nanograph team, who made the remarkable announcement just last month that they detected a cosmic background of ripples in the structure of space and time. Over cosmic timescales, galaxies collide and merge, and so do their black holes. These are near-apocalyptic events in terms of their effect on space-time, like a wall of speakers at a heavy metal concert blasting against so many eardrums. Untold numbers of galaxies have merged across the 13.8 billion year life of the universe, and those blasts should still be echoing in the background of space-time today. And so, perhaps, should the gravitational waves from the birth of the universe itself. The Big Bang was, well, a big bang.
The Nanograph team pored over their machines, their numbers, and their mathematical theory to bring us proof that something miraculous, something wonderful, is happening right under our noses. Actually, it's happening to our noses and the rest of our bodies as well.
Every gravitational wave is humming through the very constitution of the space you inhabit right now. Every proton and neutron in every atom, from the tips of your toes to the top of your head, is shifting, shuttling, and vibrating in a collective purr within which the entire history of the universe is implicated. And if you put your hand down on the pew, try it, or anything else nearby, that object, too, is dancing that slow waltz.
The least we can do is hum, sing, and if it feels right to you, dance along.
As we light our chalice, the symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith this morning, whatever you have come in anticipating, whatever you expect or worry for our world, for the future, for our lives, let it go. Make space in your heart to be surprised. Make room in your soul for a new story to take shape. Let astonishment be possible at this life that remains a miracle.
Imagine here is the bursting of joy, relentless and resilient, coming in waves, washing over us with music and story, silence, and still this dreaming together.
Being hope for each other and courage to believe in our capacity to collaborate, to co-create a new day that sees the thriving of us all. And so with intention, we begin this co-creation. Amen, Ashe, and may it be so. And so, welcome to the Eno River Unitarian Universalist Fellowship and ChoirFest. We like to call ourselves ERUUF, and whoever you are, wherever you come from, whatever your race, your gender identities, whomever you love, and wherever you are on your spiritual journey or in your search for truth, meaning, and liberation, we welcome you here in beloved community. If you are If you are visiting with us for the first, the second, or maybe even the third time, we invite you to rise in body or spirit so that we might give you an ERUUF welcome. Come on now, there's lots of visitors here. Yes, come on. All right. So I want to especially say that this service is a very special one, as you've probably figured out. This weekend has been an exciting one for us here at ERUUF, culminating in today's service with our most honored guests, singers from this region of North Carolina as well as Virginia. Did I skip any other place other than North Carolina or Virginia? If I did, please raise your hand. I'm sorry? Atlanta. Somebody is here from Atlanta as well. Yes. Yes, so we welcome everyone here on this very special day. We have been joined by our guest clinician this weekend, Francisco Ruiz. Francisco has over 15 years of music ministry experience for various religious organizations. He serves as program director of spiritual practice and worship for the Association of Unitarian Universalist Music Ministries. Francisco is also faculty member at the Los Angeles College of Music. Hailing from Ecuador, Francisco Ruiz is a vocalist. Yes, there was some applause for Ecuador in the house. Francisco is a vocalist, a multi-instrumentalist, an arranger and music director for a variety of choirs and music groups in LA. He has worked with various artists, including U2, Noel Chagres, Yvonne Lins, Marcos Valle, Luis Enrique, and Casey Porter. Most recently, Francisco worked with producer Hector Cristantes as vocalist and arranger in a 2022 Latin Grammy-nominated Best Traditional Pop Vocal Album, La Vida, by Kurt. I hope I got that right. So I want you to know two important things about today's service. First is that we have our children here amongst us. This is a multi-generational service, and the children will have an opportunity to be led in song by Francisco. So they will remain in this service throughout. The other thing, and for those of you who are accustomed to 1 hour services, we don't always do that here at ERUUF, so I'm just letting y'all know right now. So this service will run longer. I anticipate that is so. We had to start a little later because of all of the work that is done in having 130 choir members and instrumentalists move about. But I just want to have you be aware of that. And so if you have to leave early, we understand, but we really do hope you can hang out a while and be with us throughout the entire service. And so, as we do each Sunday, we begin with Weaving Beloved Community, during which we learn about an important activity we are involved in as a community here at ERUUF. And so I invite Evelyn Studer to share about our 2025 pilgrimage to Alabama.
First slide, please. Okay. So the pilgrimage to Alabama is happening again in 2025, and I was on the one in 2023, and I can say it is a very deeply meaningful and profound learning experience. I've experienced anything like it before. When I was a young person in the 1960s, I read a lot about the civil rights movement, and I actually read about things while they were happening, such as the marches, the violent police, things that happened, the deaths of Viola Liuzzo and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., but there's nothing like actually going to the place where these things happen. It just is very touching to actually be there, and sometimes you may even meet people who were there at that time. It's just incredible. And there's also something about seeing the courage of those who have gone before, and it fosters a sense of hope. It fosters a sense of what can we do today, because these are our ancestors of liberation, and they have really taken steps, and now it is our time. Next slide, please. So this is a picture of the Rosa Parks Museum and an example of how immersive the exhibits are. You actually get onto a bus and you see a movie about Rosa Parks rather than just hear a talk about it. And some of the information is hard to actually take in. It can be very intense, it can be painful. And one of the things that's great about the pilgrimage, next slide please, is that there's a lot of opportunities, next slide. There's a lot of opportunities for gatherings. The ministers have very carefully planned this. This is an altar that was set up in the hotel. It was gorgeous. It provides support on so many levels. There's spiritual support. In 2023, there were 2 ministers. There were also additional trained lay chaplains. And another benefit to the trip was there were some fantastic people, like the restaurant owners that the committee set up, we would eat there, and they were just amazing people. And we even got to talk to some of them, and we also got to know some of our ERUUF members better. So that was another side benefit. Next slide, please. And the best part, in some ways, was the singing. We had beloved community chorus members and other people there, and they led us in singing. And it really, the dimensions of the whole experience are just really hard to put into words. Next slide, please. So the complicated history of our country is very much on display there. It unfolds with all the promises of liberty and the practices of injustice. And the Edmund Pettus Bridge here is an example. It has a history of amazing violence where law enforcement really beat very cruelly the peaceful protesters that wanted to vote. And it's now part of the U.S. Civil Rights Trail. It's also a place that it's quite a contradiction. It's this really ugly bridge that's aging, and yet people are driving across it all the time. And it's also where Barack Obama gave a 50th anniversary speech when he was the president in 2015. And so here are some of us on the bridge in 2023, and it just felt like such a mixed thing, a beautiful time to be together. Next slide. So this is the larger group that we were all together there in front of one of the Southern Poverty Law Center. And one of the things that comes through with this experience is a real resonance of courage, determination, and hope. And it also invites change and opportunity. I've decided to go again in 2025, and maybe I'll learn more about what the ancestors ask of us today and what I will do in response. But this is truly an amazing opportunity to touch history and continue along the path to justice. Today, the multicultural team is going to have an info session in room 405 of the Care Building, so if you want to learn more, please join them.
All right, little ones, it's that time. I'm not Reverend Jim, but I invite you to come down anyway. For those of you who are young at heart, young in body, young in spirit, come on down and spend some time with me today. Come on down, all you littles. And those of you who are young at heart are welcome to come down as well. Hi. So our story today is called My Voice is a Trumpet. How would your voice sound if it were a trumpet? Go ahead. How would it? Okay. I like that. Yeah. Do it. Good. Okay, lots of trumpet sounds coming out. Okay, my voice is a trumpet. Some have a voice as tall as a tree, loud and proud and sways in the breeze. Some have a voice as small as a bee, soft and sweet like kisses of honey. Some have a voice that's patient and wise, with lessons of life told through sparkling eyes. And some have a voice sunny and bright, a voice that can echo and light up the night. There's a voice that is silent, but still can be heard, with hands that move to speak every word. Have any of you seen sign language? And any of you? Yeah, that's an example of a voice that is silent, but can be heard. Then there's a voice that roars like a lion, a big voice that tells you, always keep trying. We all have voices to hear. My voice is a trumpet. Yeah, strong and clear. Let me hear your trumpet voices. My voice is a trumpet. Yeah. Yeah. No, that sounds like a rooster, right? This is why I don't get to do this every Sunday. My voice will be loud when I'm not sure how, sure I know, to wonder, to learn, and to ask as I go. I will learn to speak up, to show I am strong, to stand for what's right, and to know what feels wrong. My voice is a rainbow after the storm, loving, comforting, safe, and warm. I'll use my voice to find joy in others, reminding us all we're sisters and brothers and kin too. I'll say no to hate by using this voice and always choose love, a magical choice. Voices are powerful, and together they're strong, like the musical notes of a beautiful song. How will you use your voice? What are some ways you can use your voice? To help others? To stand up for others? To stand up for what's right? Yeah? What? A sign? What else? How else will you use your voices? Might you use your voices? To be kind to people. Yes. Those are just some examples, but there are lots of ways we can use our voices, and I think you all have pointed out some really good ones. To make people happy, sign language, but we would use our hand voices, right? Yeah. I don't know sign language. Do you know any sign language? Yeah? What does that mean? Do you know? Okay, that's okay. And so we go to the next slide. I wanted to show the next slide. So this is a picture of the author, Jimmy Allen, with his children and how he teaches them to use their voices. And now Francisco will come forward, and he's going to continue our Time for All Ages with some music for all ages.
Hello. Hi. All right, so using our voices is so important, right? And we use our voice to speak up, to maybe say, stop, maybe to say, I don't like that, right? You can say, I'm feeling uncomfortable, I need more space. Can you say that, I need more space? That's right. If you need more space, you can say it, right? And then you can say, don't take it personally, it's just a boundary, right? So this is actually the lyrics to a song that I encourage you to look up. It's from a great YouTube channel. You all know what YouTube is. It's called Hopscotch. Hopscotch, yeah, that's great. You're flying. So one of the songs from this, it's a couple that write these songs for children. And this song that I'm going to teach you now, it's called the Feelings song, okay? And the Feelings song goes like this. I'm going to teach you the lyrics first, okay? So, this feeling is a message from my brain. Can you say that? This feeling is a message from my brain. I'll give it time, I'll give it a name. I'll give it time, I'll give it a name. It has a place, I'll give it space. It has a place, I'll give it space. All my feelings are okay. All my feelings are okay. So we use our voice too to express that, to say that our feelings are okay. However you feel, what are some of feelings that we can have? Sad, happy, mad, angry. What else? Excited, loved, frustrated. Yes? Super excited. Yeah. Disappointed. That's right. So excited, confused, playful, energetic. There's so many. Scared, anxious, lonely, right? Yes. Really scared too. So there's all these different feelings that we can have. So we're going to sing this song together, right? Scared too. So here, now we're going to sing together this. So remember the lyrics? I'm going to say it again. I'm going to sing it first, and then you'll sing it with me, okay? So, this feeling is a message from my brain. I'll give it time, I'll give it a name. It has a place, I'll give it space. All my feelings are okay. This feeling is a message from my brain. I'll give it time, I'll give it a name. It has a place, I'll give it space. All my feelings are okay. One more time. This feeling is a message from my brain. I'll give it time, I'll give it a name. It has a place, I'll give it space. Oh, all my feelings are okay. Beautiful. So I encourage you to listen to the whole song. It's the Feelings song, and you can find it on all platforms. And it's not my song. It's a song by a group called Hopscotch, and they love creating this really, really smart, beautiful songs that have also a little bit of it's called Therapy in a Nutshell, and they also have like a really cool animation to it. It's beautiful. So I encourage you to look it up. Do we want to sing it one last time? Yeah? Okay, so ready. So can we stand? Let's stand as you're able and willing. Yes? Ready? So I'm going to stand too, because come on. Ready? And 2, 3, 4, and this feeling is a message from my brain. I'll give it time, I'll give it a name. It has a place, I'll give it space. All my feelings are okay. Last time. This feeling is a message from my brain. I'll give it time, I'll give it a name. It has a place, I'll give it space. All my feelings are okay. Great work, good job.
Okay, kids, you can go back to your grown-ups, to your seats right now. And for the rest of us, why don't we turn and greet a neighbor, just say hello to someone near us. How is this?
And now, would you please rise in body and spirit and sing the hymn, Spirit of Life. We're gonna sing it in English and also in Spanish. And I'll help you out with the Spanish.
Ooh. I'm going to invite you to find a comfortable place in your seat. And we're going to take a good breath together. Inhale and exhale. And at your own pace, start monitoring the sensations in your body as you inhale and exhale. Feel free to close your eyes or lower your gaze. And as you continue to breathe, notice if in your body you need to move some muscles, to release some tension. Notice where it feels tight, where it feels loose, where something needs to be acknowledged. And as we inhale and exhale, now in this next exhale, I'm going to invite you to exhale on a sound. Whatever sound feels authentic to you. So we're going to inhale. Inhale one more time. I'm going to invite you to continue this for a little longer. We're going to exhale, inhale and exhale on a note. At your own pace, continue to exhale on a note that feels good to you.
Spirit of life, we gather today to celebrate and to remember. We celebrate the joy of coming together on this day for ChoirFest and appreciating the gift of song, connecting us with something deeper in ourselves. We also celebrate the gift of fellowship, creating community in this time, in this place, as part of the interconnected web of life. May we always work to offer a place of belonging for all who come to feel a part of something greater. We celebrate beloved community, all of us just as we are, knowing every voice is needed to create the song of fellowship. We remember the power of music to inspire, encourage, and transform. And as a people who care for one another, we remember to lift up our prayers and concerns. We hold in our hearts Jay Vaughn and family, as 6 of her family members have died in recent weeks. We hold in our hearts all those impacted by the recent storms and weather events. May they find the resources and strength needed to face the challenges of this moment. We hold in our hearts all those living in the shadow of war and violence, those demonstrating for peace, and those on the front lines of conflict. In these challenging times, let us remember that we are one global family living on the same human-impacted earth. let us center ourselves in compassion as we work for justice, equity, and peace. We hold in our hearts and acknowledge the suffering and grief that informs our mission to side with love again and again. We hold in our hearts the heart and soul of the world. May we always find ways to remember the power of love to heal and transform. In the spirit of unity, we lift up our prayers and blessings. Let us breathe in peace and breathe out love and listen, feel, and be. Amen. Ashe, and blessed be.
Now I invite you to take one last inhale together and exhale on a note.
So all I've got to say is that if you're not vibrating now, then you never will. Because I am vibrating. Thank you. That was so very beautiful. Thank you so much, so very much. In an interview with jazz bassist John Patitucci, the Anglican priest and writer Jamie Hauer says that Patitucci spoke of how an improvisational piece begins to build through risk-taking and a shared willingness to trust the other members of the band. At some point, Patitucci commented, it spills right into the audience, and the ways in which the members of the audience engaged this challenge to be open and to risk and trust impacts what the musicians then create. Related to this, Jeremy Begbie, a world-renowned theologian who is a distinguished professor at Duke Divinity School, whose focus is on the interplay of the arts and theology, especially music, says that certain qualities influence improvisational music. First, the physical space in which the improvisation occurs and its attendant sound. So that's the moving of your body and the shifting in the seats, all of that. Secondly, the other improvising participants, the music they produce, and the audience, which is us, the gathered congregation here. And finally, he says, it's the disposition of the improviser himself or herself. And so I just thank you, Francisco, for inviting us into a morning of being open and risk-taking and trusting and allowing some of us to absolutely astonish ourselves that we are indeed vibrating with the cosmos, and we are musicians all. Can I get an amen? That's right. As some of you know, I have just returned from a trip to Poland where I traveled as a member of the Board of Trustees delegation of the Unitarian Universalist Service Committee. The UUSC, as it is known, is an 80-year-old global human rights organization that began its work in 1939 when Unitarian minister Reverend Waitstill Sharp and his wife Martha traveled to Europe, where they undertook a dangerous rescue and relief mission, saving refugees, political dissidents, and Jews on the eve of World War II, including narrowly avoiding the Gestapo themselves. If you do not know their story, I highly recommend that you read about it in the book Defying the Nazis, The Sharps' War, published by the our UU imprint, Beacon Press. UUSC's work has evolved over the years as it now partners through funding and advocacy with grassroots activist organizations in the United States and around the world that align with our UU values and who are working on the ground on behalf of human rights and justice. And so the UUSC Board of Trustees travels as a delegation each year to visit our partners in a particular location to learn about their work firsthand. While visiting Poland, we had an opportunity to meet with representatives of 5 groups. The Foundation Towards Dialogue, which advocates for the inclusion of the Roma community in Poland, most recently in support of Roma who have migrated from Ukraine. We also visited the Alliance for Black Justice in Poland, a Black-led coalition of organizations that focus on issues of human rights, anti-racism, anti-discrimination, self-realization, and safety for Black, African, and Afro-descendant people in Poland. We also met with 2 individual activists, both of whose names I am withholding intentionally. One who is all of 26 years old and has created an organization that has received a lot of good attention for her groundbreaking work in seeing to the mental health and gender-related needs of women and children refugees from Ukraine. The other is a woman who was a leader in assisting Ukrainian refugees to migrate to Poland. There is this huge woods or forest, great forests that separate Poland and Ukraine. It is, I want to say, 1,000 meters or something like that. And people literally had to come through this forest in order to reach Poland from Ukraine. And this woman was also the person who broke the story to the Western media that though the Polish government was receiving a great deal of attention and praise for being the European country that took in the greatest number of Ukrainian refugees, the truth of the matter was that they were turning away Black Ukrainians, as well as African students who found themselves stranded in Ukraine at the start of the war. The attention of Western media helped to turn some of this around, though it is still a problem as Blacks and Africans migrating to Poland from Ukraine as a result of the war are not afforded the same resources that white Ukrainians receive. I note especially that the woman who has been involved in this work has stepped down temporarily because she recognized that she had a whole lot of trauma herself as a result of assisting the folks from the Ukraine, all of the refugees, and in their migration to Poland. She was actually burned out. This leads me to the vital work of an organization called Regeneration, which supports organizations and individual activists who are burning out and experiencing trauma associated with their justice work. It is important to know that Regeneration actually makes the distinction between professional burnout, which they say results from any kind of work in a capitalist system, and activist burnout, which is specific to the human rights sector and needs to be responded to differently. So I want you to know that I'm not sharing all of this with you as a mere report back of some of what and who I've encountered while in Poland. Those of you who are a part of this congregation here at ERUUF will hear more about this in the weeks to come. But I share this with you because it's important to know about the work towards the good of others in the world, especially in a country with authoritarian leadership, and where to do some of this work is to bear witness to the terrible and put one's life at risk in a very real way, all the time. There is much for us to be greatly inspired by and to learn from them. Common among all of those we met was a deep commitment to 3 very important concerns. First was intersectionality, the understanding that their work was not about their cause alone, their issues alone, but that their worlds and their work must necessarily intersect with that of others. Who else is being impacted by this issue we are concerned about? Who else is addressing it in ways or understanding something about it that we might not yet know, but it is critical to that which we are doing and seeking to accomplish? Who else? The second was the importance of context, the acknowledgement that we are not all having the same experience. And the more marginalized you are, the greater this truth is. Whether we are talking about the Roma people, Blacks, Africans, Afro-descendant people, or the queer community, where it is illegal, hear me, illegal to identify in any way as LGBTQ in Poland. A country with a dominant culture that does not collect official data about the numbers of people who aren't a part of that dominant culture, which Poland does not do. It collects no data on the other members of its culture that are not part of the dominant culture, because it believes that all people here are Polish. They're all the same. We do not see race, it is often said, which we've learned, at least I hope we've learned, in our own racial equity work here, is to further minimize or marginalize the very people who are not seen, not recognized, or appreciated in the true fullness of who they are. But the Polish activists know that to bring context into their work is to deepen understanding, to hear voices, the needs, and solutions named by those who are directly impacted by issues that others might not know of. And that worlds can only truly intersect when context is both understood and addressed as it is brought into the work of justice. And finally, and this was quite profound to me, was their shared notion of community care. And that is not, and it was pointed out to us, that this is not about self-care, as we in the West are so fond of speaking of and acting upon in very individualistic ways, of our massages and mani-pedis and yoga classes and going off on personal retreats. I count myself among you. We were called out in a nice, kind way. These groups instead hold a commitment to an ethic of care offered to the community. And that when the community is cared for, when the community has access to what is needed for their collective well-being, then we are all cared for. There is much for us to learn about these things, ideas, and practices that actually found their origin right here in America. And so I'm going to pause here so that we might consider these things, practices of intersectionality, context, and community care. And I invite you to once again take a breath and release it. And let us take a moment of community care through music making.
We build, oh, we build, we build, build, 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 we build, oh, we build, we build, build. We care, we love, we care, we love, we care, we love. we love, we care, we love, we care, we love. You can join any part. I'm going to keep giving parts, and as it feels like it's calling you, you can join and sing, everybody. We care, we care, we care, we love, we care, we love, we care, we love, we care, we love, we care, we love. Building bridges between our divisions. I reach out to you. Would you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, friends, we can make such sweet harmony. Building bridges between our divisions. I reach out to you. Would you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, friends, we can make such sweet harmony, sweet harmony, sweet, sweet harmony, sweet. Build, we build, build, we build, oh, we build, we build, build, we build, oh, we build, we build, build, we build, oh, we build. Ashe.
So I know that many of us have an intellectual understanding of interdependence, and I want you to take note that what you've just engaged in was a metaphor and an embodiment of both interdependence and co-creation. So I share with you now a video that was shared with some of us in our delegation by a musician in Poland of African descent named Mamadou Diop, who led a talk about the history of the presence of blacks in Poland dating back to the 19th century. However, this is a music video you're about to see, which Mamadou is part of, and was created based on the idea for a script by Theo Grinberg, author of a competition entry, What is Warsaw for You? And winner of the Youth about Warsaw competition. I must say, it's in Polish. You can start it now.
Eu tenho mesmo você. Mam tak samo jak ty. Miasto moje, a w nim najpiękniejszy mój świat. Najpiękniejsze dni. Zostawiłem tam kolorowe sny. Zostawiłem tam kolorowe sny.
Kiedy zatrzymam czas i na skrzydłach jak tak będę leciał co sił tam, gdzie moje sny i warszawskie kolorowe dni. Gdybyś ujrzeć chciał nad wiślański świt.
Już dziś wyruszaj ze mną tam. Zobaczysz, jak przywita pięknie nas warszawski dzień, warszawski dzień.
A vida é bela. A vida somos todos juntos. Favela. A vida e você.
Mam tak samo jak ty.
Miasto moje, a w nim najpiękniejszy mój świat. Najpiękniejsze dni i warszawskie kolorowe sny. Gdybyś ujrzeć chciał nad wiślański świt.
Już dziś wyruszaj ze mną tam. Zobaczysz, jak przywita pięknie nas warszawski dzień, warszawski dzień. Dziś wyruszaj ze mną tam. Zobaczysz, jak przywita pięknie nas.
This was an attempt to say this is who Poland really is, and I was quite gratified to see the positive response on YouTube among the Polish people regarding this video. One person said, from the 13th to the 18th century, Poland was the most tolerant country in the world. We accepted and hosted many nations. Maybe it's high time to create such a country again. Someone else simply wrote, "This is the Poland I want." This video is also an acknowledgement of our interdependence and what gets opened up within us and for all of us when we acknowledge that we do come from many different worlds with many different contexts. However, when we don't acknowledge the context, a world that each of our lives exists at an intersection, interdependent and interconnecting in what Martin Luther King once called the network of mutuality, and what the Hindu call Indra's net, and what we Unitarian Universalists call the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. It does not render it untrue when we do not acknowledge this. It means that we miss the depth and richness of all that is offered to us. the opportunity to come to know something about others and ourselves that we do not already know. And that when we allow our worlds to intersect, when we know that our worlds are not about the individual singular self, but about community and interdependence, there is so much more we can realize together, partaking and co-creating in the truth and beauty that we are not alone. And we are not alone in this very moment. As we embody and experience how our worlds are intersecting through music and through song, through our very being together, bringing with us all of our many contexts, and how this music we are making contributes to community care, not only for us, but for all those who are watching and listening, both today and in days to come, to this act of co-creative love, to this act of healing. May it be so, my friends. Amen, Ashe, and blessed be. Is our clock on the right time? It says 12:31, but I thought it said that a while ago. So all that is seen and experienced in this community is due to the pledges and gifts of generosity, of imagination, time, talent, and treasure contributed by our members, and as well as our friends and visitors who see and love what they experience here and want to see it flourish and thrive. And so as our greeters come forward with the offering satchels, if you do not have something to place inside of it, know that you can point your device, open up your camera and point your device to the QR code. There are also cards inside of your pews that also have a QR code that you might point your device to, and it will lead you right to our giving page. And so we give thanks for all the gifts that we receive in beloved community, and especially the gift of all of you. Thank you so much for being here this weekend and for gracing us with your voices and your music. And for you, you want to...
All right, as our closing song, I would love to teach you a song. And it has some movements, some hand movements. So we can all learn this together. And I'm going to not play the guitar because I need my hands. Here we go. So it's going to go like this. So I have the patience to inhale, exhale. I've got the energy to sing. I've got the strength to keep on going, so I can rise again, so I can rise again. Yeah, you got it? Patience to inhale, exhale. I've got the energy to sing. I've got the strength to keep on going, so I can rise again, so I can rise again. I've got the patience, I've got the patience to inhale, exhale. I've got the energy to sing. I've got the strength to keep on going. Rise again, so I can rise again. I've got the patience to inhale, exhale. I've got the energy to sing. I've got the strength to keep on going, so I can rise again, so I can rise, so I can rise again, so I can rise again, so I can rise again, I can rise again, so I can rise again, so I can rise again. Thank you, choir. Thank you.
Our closing words, we do have closing words. Our closing words is from a piece called Summons by Aurora Levins Morales, and we read this every day when we were in Poland. And it goes like this. Last night I dreamt 10,000 grandmothers from the 1,200 corners of the earth walked out into the gap one breath deep, between the bullet and the flesh, between the bomb and the family. They told me we cannot wait for governments. There are no peacekeepers boarding planes. There are no leaders who dare to say every life is precious, so it will have to be us. They said we will cup our hands around each heart. We will sing the earth's song, the song of water, a song so beautiful that vengeance will turn to weeping. The mourners will embrace and grief replace every impulse toward harm. 10,000 is not enough, they said, so we have sent this dream like a flock of doves into the deep of the world. Wake up, put on your shoes. You who are reading this, I am bringing bandages and a bag of scented guavas from my trees. I think I remember the tune, meet me at the corner, let's go.